Right, now I don't know how long this battery's going to last. It's showing almost flat. I've made up the control panel. Very simple. Just got a row of on-off switches along the top, a couple of push buttons for the bus stops, and then my turnouts as to wherever they are required. And because, excuse the mess on the floor, but there's a narrow little alleyway there between the two layouts, I have, oh that's better, I zoomed out, I can undo that little there chain and that chain there, and then that folds down out of the way. Bit of light on the subject might help, and then that will fold right down in there, and there's a bit of MDF, and that holds that in place just like that. That little bit of MDF there. So trying to get it out and play, you push that round, that swings out like that. He holds it very carefully with his arm on the camera, and I hook that, well, I try and hook that in there. It's easier done without a camera in your hand, both sides, and that holds my control panel in place. On the other side of the control panel is another story, so we'll go in there and I'll film in there. That's the little locking tag that you saw. This one here, that's a plug that goes from there, goes over to here, which is where I can plug my handhelds into. I have four wires coming out there, two thick heavy cables, and they come up. It's a bit of a mess here, but up here I have, if I can see, plugs in there, and these little wires come in and they plug up in there, and my little chocolate strips, or whatever you want to call them, I think I might have that the wrong way around, that plugs in there. And I have the same duplicated over here on the second side of the layout. Try to keep everything in shot you full. The reason I do that is, but then I won't have to have bridging wires going across here, because this is the join. This is the join, and the modules, they pull apart. So you have two cables coming out of there. One comes for this module, one goes over to the other. This one here is your feed for your track. That's the other feed for the track on this module. That one there is power in for the lens, and there will be another one come in which goes to power to your turnouts. So I've just got to get in and tidy up, connect up all these things. These ones here will come along and travel across and join onto these ones, and the same on the other module. They will all connect in under there to those, and then I just got to tidy it all up. You know, I use strips of cardboard as staples to hold things up in place, and you put a little strip of cardboard across there and staple it either side, and that holds them up. So that's what I'm up to now. As I say, it's the bit that when you look at the top of the layout you see nothing happening. So we shall now go up top and have a look at the power packs. The power packs for this layout. This is a homemade transformer. I buy the transformer, I bridge rectifiers if I want DC coming out, but this one just has AC coming out of it, and I've put it at 18 volts, 3.5 amps, and it just connects in there. That goes off to the power supply, and that turns your that's lens, beg your pardon, it's a Fleischmann transformer. As I say, that supplies power from the lens. That will turn it on. That one there, when I turn that, I plug that in, I've got the cable there, and that just it says the right one, and it just plugs in there. if you find the right way around your full. Somewhere there. No, sorry, that's the wrong plug. That's the 5-pinner I'm looking for. That wouldn't go in. There we are. And that plugs in 5-pin because I've got both AC power there and DC power there. Some items on the layout will need DC power, some will need AC. That's why I've got the 5-pin on there. And that generally just hangs on the wall and run the leads across to that. But that's it. It's a simple little control panel that what I've got to do now is take this wire from this control transformer and run that into the back of this panel and connect it up to, I've gone and screwed that down so I can't show you. What a wally. And I'm getting there. Hang on, just go and make a cup of tea. Alright, what's that going to do? Look at that. And then that comes up. I've got to tidy up underneath there, but all these numbers on the tabs on the wires, they correspond to numbers on the other end that I showed you a few minutes ago. The black stripe means it goes to this module, and the one without a stripe goes to this module. All the points are there, ready to go. So I just bring the wires in, and that'll be a plus, and I'll have a minus there, you know, a negative and positive for AC. I'm looking at my finger, not at the camera. Yeah, so I'll have a negative positive there for AC, and I'll put a negative positive over here for DC. So that's my both power supplies in there. And it's a little bit breezy today in the background. You could probably hear the wind puffing around at the door down there. But never mind, so I might just go and put this camera on charge and have a wee play with that, this layout. Now I have these little bits of cardboard all cut up, and what I do is I find something reasonably solid, a corner, and I pinch them like that and push, and there you are, you have your staple. Next thing you've got to do is you find your wire that you want to staple up. Now I've got to be careful here because this is part of the other module. So you sit it there, staple gun, like that, and again in there. There you are, it's in, it's stapled in, held in neatly. Do another one. Find a piece of cardboard, bend it like so. Up there, I'll do the top one this time. Probably out of shot, am I? Oh no, I'm right. And then we tuck that up in there, staple gun, and there we are. Look at that, nice and neat. Then if you don't want it, you know, if you've got to take that out, it's just a matter of ripping them out or getting some side cutters and pulling the staples out. Simple as that. Very cheap and effective. Right, now that's the back of the panel. We've got all these wires hanging down and you want them tucked out of the way. So the other thing I do is I put one up there, a cardboard staple up there with it just stapled at the bottom, and then I just tuck those wires in there. I usually actually use stouter cardboard for that type of one, and that's just a temporary one. It will just hold them there while I'm working on the layout. Now I've noticed that as you can see here, I've got two of the point wires sorted out, and I've got one here that's not working, and I see in here that my soldering is not that good, and I have a wire has come off that plug, so I've got to take that out and solder that up. That'll teach me for not checking before I put it in. Okay, so I've got to screw that out, but look, the drill won't fit in. But I have this little handy wee beastie, that will sort of fit in, but by putting a small attachment on it, which I do right at the moment, and keep talking to you, get a right angle, I can put it in there like that. And wrong way, change direction, change direction. There's one screw out, which will drop on the floor shortly. Look at that for a handy wee beastie. And you can change that, take that off, and put one on if you want to come in at a different angle, any position. Click it in there, you're full. See? Wonderful. Alright, I'll get that out and solder it up now. Okay, you can see I've been busy little lad under there. I have the layout in normal position. Normally what I do is yeah, alright. Normally what I do is I stand the layout up like my little German N scale one there, and then of course it's so easy to work on your wiring. But I made a boo-boo on this one, and that is that this layout is 4 foot wide, or 2400, or just over 2.440 I think, any rate, but the height between where it sits over the back there and the ceiling is about 3'8" or 3'9", so it will not fit in there. So that's why I have to do it in this position. I could actually take it out and stand it up in the aisle in the middle of the room where that stool is, but I've got this module only got I think the double slip at the moment, that double slip there to wire up, and then this one here, but I'm leaving that one until I get the motor for this one, and then I'll wire them both up because they're working together, as are these two. They are working together, so when I get in to do this module I'll leave that one. There's not much to do on this left hand module. There's a turnout there, there's a double one in under the hill there, there's a double one over the back there, and that one. So that'll only take an afternoon to do. Righto, well I did wire that turnout up, but it's only temporary at the moment until I get the motor for that. So this module here, this one here on the right, is now complete. As far as the wiring of the turnouts, the feed is into the track. So I've now got to clean out under this side of the layout, move that bookcase along so I can get in and do that module. But, oh, I'm getting there. As I say, you do all this work and you've got nothing on the top to show for it. I made the little panel, and that didn't take, didn't take long, but I've got something to show for that. But never mind, I'm going to have a wee play. So we'll see what goes. Turn them on. Right. Yep, look at that. It's always good when they move and you turn the power on and the locos move. Come on, where are you? There you are. I think, I'm dreading it, but I think I may have some sort of short on the track, because that loco usually goes like a bat out of Hades, but it's just a little reluctant to move at the moment. I'll have to get my DCC man in to check out the electrics on the system. There he is. So he's going alright. Wonderful.